We got a great opportunity to go a little nostalgic in some ways as we're going to talk with Mr. John Reuben. Brother, how are you?
I'm doing well. You doing good?
You know what, I was pumped to know that you were coming, and I don't want to say because you took somewhat of a hiatus in some ways, and it's not that it's a bad thing, but I think about back in the day and Do Not all the way up to where we are now. Man, life has just been a roller coaster.
Oh yeah, no, I think you could say a hiatus for sure. You know, I'm kind of on a 2-show-a-year schedule right now, no, I love YC. I love, I've always loved coming to this event, and so when we got the call to do it, it was like time to kind of remember some old tunes and kind of put the set together, and this is definitely one of those places I love coming to perform.
Thinking back to when you first started your music career, I mean, you have been in the music industry for a long time, and I'm not calling you old. No. I'm just saying that you've been able to do this for a long time.
Yeah, I've been fortunate. Yeah, I started kind of as a teenager, and mother ran actually a Christian death metal label, and so I kind of was able to see how she kind of navigated her own label and started putting out indie records myself, and just kind of one thing led to another, and have been able to kind of ride some momentum, whether that be high, low, or at least some momentum, into sustaining and still being able to do it.
How hip hop? If Mom was a death metal, how all of a sudden did John Reuben say, I don't want to be a screamo, I want to be into hip hop?
You know, I don't know. I just always loved hip hop. I loved the energy. I mean, I grew up on like the late '80s, early '90s hip hop stuff, and so I just loved how it was a real sense of community and everybody working together. It wasn't about big productions or anything like that. It was really, it was about how well you could control an audience and how simultaneously you were reliant on their ability to give you something back. And so I've always enjoyed that connection to the audience, and it felt like it was just the energy, the whole thing, the whole culture just connected with me.
So when you went into, I mean, you did Do Not, and I remember joking around, John Reuben is gonna keep it innovative, and every album that you've done has been so different. Like Do Not was not like, life is short, and it's just, is that something that you just went into saying, listen, I'm gonna continue to grow this way, and this is kind of the style that I want?
Yeah, I think definitely, or a lot of it was just getting into the studio and kind of looking at the pieces I had to play with, and sometimes working within my limitations of the guys who were around me. I mean, I stayed in Columbus, and so I was always influenced by what my friends were into, and always encouraging them to be a part of what I was doing. And so I think I was able to kind of take those sort of, I don't want to call them limitations, but we weren't in LA, I wasn't in Nashville, I wasn't in New York or Chicago even. I was in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, and there was a nice little tight-knit community of creative people, and I was able to pull from what they were doing. I was able to give back, and we every album just kind of created something unique. And so yeah, I think so. And I didn't want to bore myself, so every album I was like, I didn't want to do the same thing. Even whether I set out to do that intentionally or not, I wanted to constantly go into an album excited about what I was making and writing.
So now, here we are, 2014. I think back to videos. I think back to the way the musical style has changed. Married, you got a kid.
Yeah.
Where is John Reuben going now?
Well, I'm still working in entertainment. I've been doing a lot of short-form video and been behind the scenes, and I've had a lot of good fortune in that area, and I'm also still doing a lot of writing and composing, and I think I'm at a place now where I'm excited to kind of work on my own music again. I've been producing for other people, but I'm excited to kind of get back in the studio and create a bunch of content. I don't even know if I would say put out an album, but like be able to put out content, whether it's just a handful of music videos that we put up on YouTube, or however we want to do it, remixes, dice things up. And today you can do whatever you want. And that's a fun thing to be able to say and do, and yeah, so we'll see. I'm going to be able to focus more on my own music though.
Do you have any idea what you want that sound to be, or is it just kind of you're going to go into it, you're gonna write it, and it's just going to come out, and whatever it sounds like is whatever because you are John Reuben?
Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
No plan, just darts on the wall.
Well, you know, there's a lot of, you know, for whatever reason, I kind of, you go through these phases of experimentation, and right now, on my end, there's just something really fun and freeing about writing, just straight up more hip hop music, like loop and beat, and then kind of playing with different, some interesting instrumentation over top of that, which I guess has probably been every album, but we'll see. I've been messing with stuff. I probably have a catalog of 20 or 30 songs that I've kind of just been stockpiling that I haven't had a chance to really produce out. And so just kind of, again, we'll look around and see who I'm gelling with creatively and get back and go into the studio and see what we come out with.
Do Not came out theoretically on cassette. Last albums, you're thinking, do I put it on CD? Now you got MP3, you could do whatever you want. Sky's the limit. Brother, we cannot wait for some more John Reuben to hit the stereo.
I appreciate it, man. I look forward to getting it out there.
He is John Reuben, and we were pumped that he took a moment in time to go a little nostalgic, look back in time, and move forward. John, thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you.